So let's start. Viewers would recall that after the ruling of Justice Sandil Kisoon on the 3rd of May 2023, requiring, among other things, that Esso Petroleum and Production Guyana Limited lodge an unlimited parent guarantee, both the Environmental Protection Agency and the EEPGL filed appeals to the Court of Appeal against that ruling. The Attorney General was not a party to those proceedings. So the Attorney General was not a party to those proceedings in the High Court. However, on the 12th of May 2023, the AG filed a notice of motion to be added as a party to the appeals. On the 19th of December 2023, after submitting written submissions and oral submissions, the Court of Appeal dismissed the Attorney General's application to be added as a party. On the 31st of January 2024, the Attorney General appealed the decision of the Court of Appeal to the Caribbean Court of Justice. After hearing submissions from all parties, on the 13th of May 2024, that is today's date, not surprisingly, the Caribbean Court of Justice reversed and overruled the decision of the Court of Appeal by allowing the appeal and ordering the Attorney General to be added as a party to the appeal, which is still pending in the Court of Appeal. So once again, you see this decision of the Guyana Court of Appeal against the government being reversed by the Caribbean Court of Justice. I have made reference to a series of decisions involving the government in a particular type of case or cases, and the Court of Appeal consistently rules in a particular way, and the Caribbean Court of Justice consistently reverses the Guyana Court of Appeal. This is another example. Here it is that the government of Guyana is a party to a contract with Esso Petroleum, known as ExxonMobil. We are a party to that contract. A High Court judge makes a particular ruling that can have the potential of bringing that contract to a halt. This is not an outsider. This is a party to the contract that a court has ruled can come to a halt. One of the parties to the contract approaches the Court of Appeal after appeals have been filed and say to the Court of Appeal, look, I am a party to the contract. I must be heard. In addition, in our application to the Court of Appeal, we outlined the importance of this contract and the revenue generated from this contract to the developmental agenda of Guyana. We also explained in great details that the Attorney General represents the public good and the public's interest. This is one of the most important contracts ever executed in the history of this country, to which the government is a party, and from which the government is getting hundreds of millions of dollars annually, which the government is using to finance its budget and to execute transformational projects for the benefit of the citizens of this country, and that the Attorney General protects the public's interest in law. All those arguments are put forward to the Court of Appeal. And the Court of Appeal says, no, you cannot be a party. In fact, the Court of Appeal was bold enough to say that the Environmental Protection Agency can represent the government of Guyana in the appeal. The Environmental Protection Agency is not part of the government of Guyana. The Environmental Protection Agency is a regulatory body. It's an agency of state. In fact, the government and that agency cannot be seen to be working together, because that agency is the regulatory agency. It regulates both the government and the oil companies and operators in the oil and gas sector. By what principle of law or system of logic can the Environmental Protection Agency ever represent the interest of the government in a case? Excuse me. So, the Court of Appeal refused to add the Attorney General. So, persons out, any member of the public can file a case to stop a major operations in the country, and the government can't be heard. Any one of you, any citizen, has what is called locus standi to institute these proceedings, and the government respects that. However, when the government now goes to the court to join the proceedings, the government is told, no, you can't be heard. Although the government is a party to the contract that is the subject of the case, and the government is to receive hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue that the government is using as budgetary support and to finance the country's developmental agenda. The Attorney General is the legal representative of the government. Yet, the Guyana Court of Appeal refuses to add the Attorney General. Fortunately, the Caribbean Court of Justice made short shrift of that ruling of the Court of Appeal and reversed it, making an order that the Attorney General be added to the appeal.